Welcome to Veil Basics. First thing we're going to do is grab a veil. If you don't own one already, then hopefully you have a piece of fabric that might come close to meeting the requirements. The first thing is the length of the veil. They're generally between 3 or 4 yards, depending on your height. But if you take your veil and you just fold it over your arm, it should meet just above your ankle, a couple inches above your ankle for a normal length veil. So it doesn't really matter what height you are. If you're choosing a piece of fabric, measure it on yourself. When you fold it over, does it go a few inches above your ankle? I like an extra long veil. So on me, this is a 4-yard veil. So you can see it pools on the ground when it's folded over. That is an added level of difficulty. So I'm assuming everybody who's using this Veil Basics video is actually new to veil. So start with a veil where when it's folded over, it's going about a few inches above your ankle. You want to use silk, chiffon, or a synthetic that has a similar feeling, lightness, as silk or chiffon. The fabric that you use will really dictate how quickly you learn veil technique. So you might think that you're really just, I can't get it, I can't get the lift, I can't get the momentum. When if you were using a fabric that actually is too heavy or even too light, or maybe it's just the wrong size for you, that had more to do than your actual skill at veil. So what I'm doing, I'm just warming up my hands and warming up the veil while I'm chatting with you. So if you'll do that too, you can get Bellydance veils by Googling Bellydance veils. And just as silk is the best, this is a lightweight silk veil. It's from China. It was inexpensive. I love the pattern and it's doing the job. So don't feel like you have to splurge on it. But as you get better at veil, you might find that you have an exciting little habit, a collection starting, because there are people who do custom silk veil dyeing, they do silk painting, and there's all sorts of gorgeous things that happen in the veil part of belly dancing. So let's start out with something inexpensive, but that actually meets the requirements. So we're running our hands, we're just meeting the hands against each other and running it down. And now let's do the other hand. So a lot of the really skillful part of veil comes from how your fingers and hands are managing the veil while you're doing the bigger movements. So just keep that in mind, that it's your fingers and hands, your wrists, that are going to have a really big impact beyond just the big moves. So we just also want to pay attention to how the veil moves naturally in our hands. So here you can see maybe I should move closer. You don't need to see my feet. I have my pointer fingers together. My thumb is pinching on the other side. So this is a really natural way to hold the veil. So here, just like that, let it go and catch it. And naturally, you're going to come into this position. Let it go and catch it. Ooh, it's trying to get away from me. Put your hands together and then run your hand down the veil. Okay? That's going to be a really important movement for you all throughout your veil dancing. Picking it up, letting it go, run the fingers down the veil. Now, we've got our fingers pinching with the arms open. We're going to take the right hand behind the head, and we're going to see how naturally the veil is folding over the pointer finger. And then the other fingers are going to just spread out, stretch out, and you're going to pull very slightly. Okay, so you pull slightly enough that you get a little bit of taut tension in the veil, but not so tight that you rip it. But it should feel like you actually could rip it if you held it too tight, and that's how you know that you're holding it the right amount. So you see it comes into a pinch when you bring the veil in front, and now it's folding over the hands. You stretch it out when it's in back. So let's keep going like this. You know what, I'm going to put on a bracelet my right hand. I know which side is right because I have the bracelet and my pant leg pulled up. All right, so back to where we just were, and I'm assuming that veil is very, very new to you for this instructional. So I have a pinch in the front. I bring my right arm behind my head. I stretch my fingers out, and there we go. The silk is folding over my pointer finger, and my thumb is pressing gently. And bring it front. When I bring it front, I'm pinching. I'm holding it lightly. I have an equal amount in both hands if you fold it over. So I'm bearing in mind that I'm trying to keep my hands equally spaced from my torso. I bring my veil behind myself, and there we go. I have it folded over the pointer finger, and I'm stretching on the thumb. So what can we do with just that? We can make a move out of just that. Let's bring our right hand forward, and it's going to go lower. Now our right hand is going to go higher. Bring the right hand lower. Bring the right hand higher. And now we're going to get the beginnings of a move called the Roman cape. Bringing the right hand overhead, bringing the right hand lower. Now let's think about the left. Bring your left hand over your head. Bring the left hand lower, over the head, left lower, left over the head, left lower, left over the head, left lower. Good. Now we're going to bring the hands together, and we're going to take the left hand up, now the right hand up. Right hand up, now the left hand up. Left hand up, now right. Right hand and now left. Left and then right. Right and then left. Now let's bring the left hand behind the head. Right. Now bring it front. Let's take the right arm under. Right arm under left. Left hand to right shoulder. Pause here for a moment so you can really feel like you know what you're doing. Think about what's next. We're going to take the arm behind us and then put the right hand on the right hip. Right hand to right hip. We are in the Roman cape. Let's come out of it by stretching up on the left, stepping to the right, taking the left arm up and then the right. Let's get started again. So we're going to bring the left arm under this time, the right hand to the left shoulder. Think about what's going to come next. You're going to bring your left hand to your left hip. Left hand to left hip. Now we're going to stretch up on the right, step out, put the hands together, right then left. All right, so let's do that again. So we're going to go right hand under, and now we're going to go right hand to right hip, left arm up, and then stepping out on the right, up on the left, up on the right. Now let's bring the left hand under, so the right hand goes to the left shoulder, the left arm is out and behind to the hip. You'll add a movement here. We'll reach over to the left leg, soft bend, and then we go up and up. Let's go ahead again. I know that when I actually have people in class, it's not as easy as just putting your hand on your shoulder, putting your hand on your hip, because you end up tied in knots. So let's just see if we can comfortably do this and then stop and see what comes next. So let's say left hand on the right shoulder. Now bring the right hand to the right hip. Bring your arm up. All right, let's change it up again. Roman cape again. My hand goes under. Right hand under left. Left hand under right. Right hand under left. Unwind, left hand under right. Right hand under left hand to shoulder. Left hand was under the right hand to left shoulder, right hand under left hand to right shoulder. Bring it up and around, bring it to the hip. Good. So is it both on the right side? So left hand and right hand are both on the right. Okay, good. So let's bring the left hand under, right hand is on the left shoulder, bring it up and around. Let's see if we have our left hand on the left hip, right hand on the left shoulder, both on the same side. That's great, you are prepared well. So show me how you can do this now. Then back to it, right hand under left shoulder. Back to it, right hand under the left arm. Right hand up and around to the right hip. Left arm up. Step to the right. Up and up. Bring it front. Bring your left hand under your right arm. Your right arm to your left shoulder. Left arm up and around. Left arm to the left hip. Bring your arm behind you again and step to your left, going up and up. Good. Now, I challenge you to do this. Just keep going. Let's go on the right arm to right hip, over and over, right arm to right hip. It's repetition that makes this make any sense. You have to do it right at least once, but then you have to repeat it over and over to really just get acquainted with the mechanics of the veil. Left hand under the right arm. Left hand to left hip. 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 Good.